Hello friends, you're watching Live Guruji channel and this is Pratima Kotrish here. Friends, in today's video I am going to speak about raising children quotes. I hope these quotes will provide you some inspiration, guidance, motivation to raise your children in the right way. Go through these quotes when as a parent you feel little worried about raising your little ones. It will definitely guide you and show you the right path. So let's begin. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. The way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Saying no to your children when appropriate is an act of love. The bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. Rarely two members of one family grow up under the same roof. Don't worry that children never listen to you. Worry that they are always watching you. Children are educated by what the grown-up is and not by his talk. Your kids require you most of all to love them for who they are, not to spend your whole time trying to correct them. Each day of our lives, we make deposits in the memory banks of our children. Children aren't coloring books. You don't get to fill them with your favorite colors. If you want children to keep their feet on the ground, put some responsibility on their shoulders. If you have never been hated by your child, you have never been a parent. At the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to a child's success is the positive involvement of parents. No one has yet realized the wealth of sympathy, the kindness and generosity hidden in the soul of a child. The effort of every true education should be to unlock that treasure. Children require guidance and sympathy far more than instruction. A child is an uncut diamond. We may not be able to prepare the future for our children, but we can at least prepare our children for the future. Having kids, the responsibility of rearing good, kind, ethical, responsible human beings is the biggest job anyone can embark on. You can learn many things from children. How much patience you have, for instance? The soul is healed by being with children. Children find everything in nothing. Men find nothing in everything. Adults are just outdated children. The best way to make children good is to make them happy. Children should have enough freedom to be themselves once they have learned the rules. Children are educated by what the grown-up is and not by his talk. If you raise your children to feel that they can accomplish any goal or task they decide upon, you will have succeeded as a parent and you will have given your children the greatest of all blessings. Your children are not your children. They come through you, but their life itself, wanting to express itself. Children need love, especially when they do not deserve it. Everything depends on upbringing. We never know the love of the parent till we become parents ourselves. Most things are good and they are the strongest things, but there are evil things too, and you're not doing a child a favor by trying to shield him from reality. The important thing is to teach a child that good can always triumph over evil. The most important thing that parents can teach their children is how to get along without them. Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. As your kids grow, they may forget what you said, but won't forget how you made them feel. The most important thing a father can do for his children is to love their mother. Each day of our lives, we make deposits in the memory bank of our children. An unhappy mother does not raise a happy child. The best inheritance a parent can give his children is a few minutes of his time each day. Discipline is helping a child solve a problem. Punishment is making a child suffer for having a problem. To raise problem solvers, focus on solutions, not retribution. Spanking is controlling a child through force and fear. There are better ways. Educate yourself. Our children can be our greatest teachers if we are humble enough to receive their lessons. The quickest way for a parent to get a child's attention is to sit down and look comfortable. We have to coach our kids in right behavior more than we discipline for wrong behavior. A child who is allowed to be disrespectful to his parents will not have true respect for anyone. Children are not things to be molded, but are people to be unfolded. Hugs can do great amounts of good, especially for children. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. Children are the living messages we send to a time we will not see. Your children make it impossible to regret your past. They are its finest fruits, sometimes the only ones. Don't handicap your children by making their lives easy. Parents need to fill a child's bucket of self-esteem so high that the rest of the world can't poke enough holes to drain it dry. The children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. A father's goodness is higher than the mountain. A mother's goodness deeper than the sea. By loving them for more than their abilities, we show our children that they are much more than the sum of their accomplishments. Your children need your presence more than your presence. Every word, facial expression, gesture, or action on the part of a parent gives the child some message about self-worth. The thing about parenting rules is there aren't any. That's what makes it so difficult. Love is a chain whereby to bind a child to its parents. Praise your children openly, reprehend them secretly. Parents were the only ones obligated to love you. From the rest of the world, you had to earn it. If a child can't learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way they learn. When you look into your mother's eyes, you know that is the purest love you can find on this earth. The point of parenting isn't to have all the answers before we start out, but instead to figure it out on the go as our children grow. Because as they do, so will we. Feeling heard and understood allows children to release their feelings, let go and move on. If your children fear you, they cannot trust you. If they don't trust you, they cannot learn from you. If you're a parent, open doors to unknown directions to the child so he can explore. Don't make him afraid of the unknown. Give him support. Live so that when your children think of fairness and integrity, they think of you. To bring up a child in the way he should go, travel that way yourself once in a while. The example we set for our kids, like how to act when things go our way, is much more important than the rules we set for them. Make the decision to have a child. It's momentous. It is to decide forever to have your heart go walking outside your body. If you can control your behavior when everything around you is out of control, you can model for your children a valuable lesson in patience and understanding, and snatch an opportunity to shape character. Leave your pride, ego, and narcissism somewhere else. Reactions from those parts of you will reinforce your children's most primitive fears. If we don't shape our kids, they will be shaped by outside forces that don't care what shape our kids are in. Play helps build a warm relationship between family members and create a bank of positive feelings and experiences that can be drawn upon in times of conflict. Through play, you can help your children solve problems, test out ideas, and explore their imaginations. When a child hits a child, we call it aggression. When a child hits an adult, we call it hostility. When an adult hits an adult, we call it assault. When an adult hits a child, we call it discipline. Where did we ever get the crazy idea that in order to make children do better, first we have to make them feel worse? Think of the last time you felt humiliated or treated unfairly. Did you feel like cooperating or doing better? If I had to make a general rule for living and working with children, it might be this. Be wary of saying or doing anything to a child that you would not do to another adult whose good opinion and affection you valued. A child seldom needs a good talking to as a good listening to. You will always be your child's favorite toy. Raise your words, not voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. When little people are overwhelmed by big emotions, it's our job to share our calm, not join their chaos. Speak to your children as if they are the wisest, kindest, most beautiful and magical humans on earth. For what they believe is what they will become. There's no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. The moment you begin to actively discover the amazing personhood of your child, parenting starts to feel like less of a burden and more of an adventure. It's not until you become a mother that your judgment slowly turns to compassion and understanding. It's right to talk about motherhood as a wonderful thing, but we also need to talk about its stresses and strains. It's okay not to find it easy. Asking for help should not be seen as a sign of weakness. Children do not need us to shape them. They need us to respond to who they are. It's not our job to toughen our children up to face a cruel and heartless world. It's our job to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and heartless. What it's like to be a parent, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But in exchange, it teaches you the meaning of unconditional love. Instead of saying, I don't want my child to be perceived as different, let's flip the script and say, I don't want my child to feel pressured to be normal. Instead of raising children who turn out okay despite their childhood, let's raise children who turn out extraordinary because of their childhood. Some of the most important things you can communicate to a child are that feelings are okay, mistakes are fixable, and there's nothing they could do that would push you away or make you love them less. Behavior is not perfect, it is communication. Embrace the imperfect and show children they are worth holding close to your heart, no matter what. A child whose behavior pushes you away is a child who needs connection before anything else. However we treat the child will treat the world. Let's raise children who won't have to recover from their childhoods. Children need at least one person in their life who thinks the sun rises and sets on them, someone who delights in their existence and loves them unconditionally. Listen earnestly to anything your children want to tell you, no matter what. If you don't listen eagerly to the little stuff when they are little, they won't tell you the big stuff when they are big. Because to them, all of it has always been big stuff. Of all the virtues required in the art of child rearing, none is more important and none rarer than patience in parents, in family, in friends. Patience to allow the miracle of human development to unfold according to its own internal laws. You can't teach children to behave better by making them feel worse. When children feel better, they behave better. Children will listen to you after they feel listened to. Take some time to tell your child you like them today and list the reasons why. Then watch in wonder as they blossom before your eyes. Words of recognition and appreciation to a child are like sunshine and rain to a flower. When a man dies, if he can pass enthusiasm along to his children, he has left them an estate of incalculable value. It is time for parents to teach young people that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. You know children are growing up when they start asking questions that have answers. To be able to watch your children's children grow up is truly a blessing from above. Remember, the goal is not to raise great kids. It is to raise kids who become great adults. Do not raise your children the way your parents raised you. They were born for a different time. When we are children, we seldom think of the future. This innocence leaves us free to enjoy ourselves as few adults can. The day we fret about the future is the day we leave our childhood behind. While we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about. Remember, no matter the problem, kindness is always the right response. When your child is having a problem, stop, listen, then respond to the behavior. The behavior can be addressed later after the need has been met, because only then is the door to effective communication truly open. Challenging behavior occurs when the demands and expectations being placed upon a child outstrip the skills they have to respond. The long-term answer to a kid not caring about your concerns is to care more about his. Behaviorally challenging kids are challenging because they are lacking the skills to not be challenging. Challenging kids are lacking the skills of flexibility, adaptability, frustration, tolerance, and problem-solving skills most of us take for granted. Challenging behavior is just a signal, the fever, the means by which the kid is communicating that he or she is having difficulty meeting an expectation. When there's a good fit between skills and expectations, there's what we call compatibility, and we would expect a good outcome. When there's a poor fit between expectations and the capacity of the kid, there is incompatibility, and that's when we see people exhibit challenging behavior. My advice to educators is collaborate with parents. They know a lot about their kids. The reality is that well-behaved students aren't behaving themselves because of the school discipline program. They are behaving themselves because they have the skills to handle life's challenges in an adaptive fashion. If we are sitting at dinner and there's no conversation going on because everybody's got their head someplace else in their iPhone, that's a family problem that needs to be solved. You want to teach all kids the skills that are on the better side of human nature, empathy, appreciating how one's behavior is affecting other people, resolving disagreements in ways that do not involve conflict, taking another's perspective, honesty. All students can learn and succeed, but not on the same day, in the same way. When a child can't calm down, they need connection and comfort, not criticism and control. Kids go where there is excitement. They stay where there is love. The best security blanket a child can have is parents who respect each other. Children learn best when they like their teacher and they think their teacher likes them too. I hope you have liked all these 125 raising children quotes. When you are down or when you have a problem or when you are confused about what you do with your kids, go through this video. Definitely you will get some guidance. By the way, friends, have you subscribed to Life Guruji channel? If no, kindly subscribe immediately. Press the bell icon to receive notifications of my latest videos. Like, share and comment the video. That's it in this video, friends. Meet you with a new topic in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.